666.6 Mourning Brew FM, where the coffee's strong and the stories are what keep you awake throughout the night.
Tonight, we step back into the shadows of late-night radio, into a world built on static, sleepless curiosity in the hypnotic voice of one man, Art Bell. From his desert home in Pahrump, Nevada, Bell opened the phone lines to anyone brave enough or strange enough to dial into the show, Coast to Coast AM. And what followed became the stuff of modern folklore. This episode is a journey through some of the most mysterious, unsettling, and unforgettable callers ever to reach the airwaves of Coast to Coast AM. This includes the likes of the trembling Area 51 whistleblower, the inventor chasing the secrets of time travel, the man with a bottomless pit on his property, and even a time traveler from the future. Each story left millions of listeners sitting awake in the dark, wondering what was real and what was merely a voice carried throughout the night. So dim the lights, settle in, and let's explore the eerie magic that made Art Bell's show a beacon for the unexplained. Because the world of Coast to Coast AM, truth is often stranger than fiction.
That was really good. Seriously, that was really good.
Thank you.
I was very happy at that. Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. Well, that was Fernando's best radio voice going right there, and I thought it was pretty damn good, actually.
Call me the radio demon.
The radio demon. So, do you... I don't know. Do you... I'll be honest, I didn't listen to Coast. I think I missed it. I especially missed Art Bell's Coast to Coast. I'm a little too young for that.
I was never a radio listener. Like, long road trips with my dad, I'd always wanted to, like, he used to listen to this, like, radio station, or, like, it was like a CD disc, but it was, like, recorded in the style of a radio station talk show host, and it was, like, Roy D. Mercer, and it was, like, this southern guy that had, like, his own whack-a-many radio show where people called in with stupid stuff, and he'd give stupid advice, and then he'd even listen to the old-timey stuff of, like, what are you doing, Jack? Like, oh, no, like some detective, like Percy, whatever, like.
Okay.
And so he listened to old detective shows, Little Orphan Annie stuff, and I'm just like, I need a visual medium. I can't.
Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
I mean, I can do. Don't forget. What a crummy. What does he say? What a crummy advertising.
A crummy commercial. No, sorry. A crummy commercial.
Crummy commercial.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Ralphie. Like, and then he's like, I left that day like a changed man or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, okay.
I love A Christmas Story.
It's a great movie. It's my mom's favorite Christmas movie too. But
it's my top 3.
I'd say it comes in second, but yeah, no, I think I don't know.
I can do a podcast, but I can't do like a radio show kind of talk show thing. I don't know.
I feel it's a little different too, like with radio, because radio typically you really have to watch what you say, what you can say, how you say it. Like, you know, like the what is it? Is it the FCA, Federal Communications? I don't know. The people who monitor like radio,
FCC.
Like FCC. There you go, FCC. You know, you can't swear. That's why it's kind of funny up north when you're like near. You know, you're on a Canadian radio station when you hear them start swearing, because they can. We can't. But it doesn't matter, because it's being broadcast from their country, not ours. And just because we're tapping into it, there's nothing they can do about it. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of like cool radio shows like where I grew up. Like, you know, back in Tupper, you got like a couple radio stations that even made it as far as we did, and the main one was like Star
92.9.
Star 92.9. Yeah. So the closest thing
Lily and Miss is listening to Elvis Duran in the morning.
Elvis Duran, yeah. Yeah, the closest we really get, honestly, to what you were just talking about, like with the show, was I think at night there's Delilah, which is like dating advice. Apparently it's like a national thing. Like, she's not just here. Like, they actually like take her show and broadcast it everywhere. It's not actually, she's on a Star 92.9 affiliate, I guess is the way I'm trying to say. She's not in Vermont talking. But
is Elvis Duran in Vermont?
I think Elvis Duran is. Yeah, I believe he is. There's also a radio station over here. Like, he's over in Plattsburgh or Burlington, but he works for the same station because they have a couple, I believe.
And then Tim McGraw or whatever from Delaha Mitsubishi. Fuck that guy. Tim Bernard here. That's who it is.
Yep, Tim Bedard. Tim Bedard.
Always get his ads.
Yeah, he's very loud too. But okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna pretend I have a ton of experience with like radio, but so yeah, everybody, if you kind of couldn't, if you didn't pick up on this by Fernando's lovely intro, today we are going to be talking about Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM. He technically Coast to Coast has been going on past Art Bell. Art Bell is kind of like the founder of it. And I believe Coast to Coast still goes on today, I believe. We do talk about this, but I wrote the script a while ago, so I can't remember if it's still going. I believe it is, but it's not Art Bell, unfortunately. It's somebody else, which, again, we'll talk about later. And there's definitely been mixed reviews about his successor. But we're not talking about his successor today. We're going to talk about Art Bell, who he himself, in my opinion, actually had a pretty interesting life leading up to what we all began to know him as. He's also, I think he's a pretty likable entity. Like he gives everybody a fair shake. He doesn't really focus on he just lets you talk. Like if you got something to say, as long as you're not being a jerk, he's gonna let you talk.
Fair shake like me if you meet me at the Nectar's bathroom.
He'll multiple shakes.
Multiple shakes, but it'll cost you though.
Oh God. So yeah, that's who we're going to talk about today, and we're going to talk about, I believe, some of his, most interesting stories / interesting viewers. I've heard this name be tossed around quite a bit while watching a lot of spooky stuff, and he sounds interesting, and I wanted to write about him. So this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm ready if you are to get into this.
I am ready. Ready, Freddy.
That's perfect because you're the first one to read.
Arthur William Bell III, or Art, was born on June 17th, 1945, a Gemini like Austin, in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, to a military family. As a direct result of this military affiliation, Art and his family would constantly move between a multitude of military bases scattered around the world. It was during these travels that Art would become a very active listener of whatever local radio stations he could find. Typically, these included stations that were hosted by various armed forces members on the very base that he was staying on. Fast forward to when he was a teenager, Art would go on to earn his first amateur radio license. Specifically, he would receive an FCC-issued amateur extra class, which happened to be one of the highest grade licenses in amateur radio. From this moment on, Art's love for radio, communications, and broadcasting in general would only continue to grow. Following in his father's footsteps, Bell would go on to serve in the U.S. Air Force as a medic during the 60s Vietnam era.
Oof.
That was a hard time.
Yeah, that's a light way to put it.
Controversial time, some might say, but it's okay. During this time, he would eventually find himself stationed in Japan. While there, he and some of his friends would operate a small, on-base pirate radio station, where he would serve as the DJ. Funnily enough, the radio station would become so popular that after receiving support from the on-base commander, they would go on to expand the operation. At first, they played music strictly for the military base. Then they began to boost the signal strength, which ultimately allowed the signal to be picked up by residents in the nearby city. Eventually, local radio stations learned of the pirate station's popularity after it appeared in the Arbitron ratings. It was then forced to shut down after being on the air for a year. This would be the official start of Bell's radio career.
So he sounds like a pretty handy guy, I'd say. He sounds pretty somewhat...
In order to be handy with radios and communications and all that fancy equipment back in the 60s, 70s, that was the tech of the day. That was
cutting edge.
That was cutting edge. If you knew how to work those, you were considered a brainiac,
I also again, like I could be
You're
wrong.
the whiz kid.
But I feel like you would imagine the medic would probably be dealing. Yes, I understand, like in the military, like even today, but then you had like
They had their own branch for the radio.
right,
people.
your radio man, like, you know, the dude with the
Yeah,
big
a
box
radio
on the back.
man.
I know it's kind of like it probably was a little better by Vietnam. Like World War II, I know was like the big box on the back, and I'm sure it was a little better by Vietnam. But I'd imagine as the medic, you probably had to work around radios at least a decent amount, right? I mean, I would think so.
Maybe. I mean, maybe communicating to other medic bases, depending on if you're like, I don't think an in-field medic would be like in battle. Like you're not probably near a radio, but if you're like at a base, kind of like you're the medic that's stationed at the base, like working like on patients and stuff and wounded, then probably, yeah, you have access to a radio to basically call to see if there's space at another nearby hospital or what have you.
Yeah, so you're at least you get some exposure at least.
Yeah,
I
probably
think.
some.
Plus, I mean, you know, like you mentioned, he was on a base in Japan. So as he was on base, I mean, yeah, I'm sure once you get comfortable there, you start trying to find things to do. And I'm sure you got in with a couple of the radio guys like that. Imagine some of the people he started the radio station with. I'd be very surprised if they were all just a band of medics. You know, there's probably some radio people in there, and maybe he saw it, was like, wow, this is interesting. I will be honest though, like when I was researching this, I really thought he would be going into communications in the military because of how how into all of this he was. But being a medic during the Vietnam era is a pretty noble endeavor. I'll give him that. I don't know how much of a choice you get in that matter, but yeah.
Is it noble to fight for the empire?
I mean, as a medic, your goal is to help protect and save people. You shouldn't be you're probably not shooting a lot of people when you're a medic. Alrighty. So, as you mentioned, he had a little stint in the military, following in his father's footsteps. And he didn't seem to be super bitter about it. If anything, I think it actually helped. Like we said, it helped him boost his career. So that's kind of nice. So moving on.
Or AI took his job.
Well, now, unfortunately, you're probably got to worry about AI using his voice. That's probably already been done, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Let's dive into the nitty gritty. We're going to get to coast to coast. After leaving the military and returning to the United States, Bell would go on to pursue radio full time and take any gig that he could get his hands on. This would eventually allow Art to wear a number of hats. Would you stop? I can't read. It's moving. I get it. Stop putting cock, okay? You can leave it there, though. That's fine. After leaving the military, cock.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Okay. After leaving the military and returning to the United States, Bell would go on to pursue radio full-time and take any gig that he could get his little mitts on. This would eventually allow Art to wear a number of hats throughout his early radio career. This included being a rock and roll DJ, followed by multiple stints as a political/current events commentator. That must have been interesting. As a result of working on such a wide array of radio-centric subjects, Art felt that he had all that he needed to create his very own show. In 1978, Art Bell would go on to create and host West Coast AM, a late-night political talk/call-in show in Vegas on radio station KDWN. In 1988, Bell and his good friend Alan Corberth renamed the show Coast to Coast AM and moved its studio from the Plaza Hotel in Las Vegas to Bell's home in Pahrump, Nevada. And this is like, Pahrump is like in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Perfect for this kind of stuff. But yeah.
I'd rather be on the strip, dude. What do you mean?
It's probably expensive. It's probably very expensive. Can you imagine, like, freaking...
Back in the day in Vegas, I don't think so. Because, like, Vegas used to be, like, cheap because they want you to come there and blow all your money gambling, right?
That's fair. Now it's turned into this, like, casino for the rich.
Yeah, now it's like too expensive to vacation. They're low key,
which is why they're losing money.
When I went like, yeah, they really are. Because I went like 3 years ago. It's still pretty affordable, but it's gotten worse.
It's crazy how when no one has money, they don't want to bet it at a casino. Crazy.
It's because they're too busy gambling it on one of the like millions of sports books or Kalshi and all. Like, why go to Vegas when you can just gamble on? Is it going to rain today or something?
Yeah, we can bet on if Fernand's going to, tell me he hates me. That's
ooh. Can I get in on that action?
Get on that. You're an insider though. You can't do that.
Well, it won't be Fernando Beltran, it will be Bernardo Feltran.
Bernardo Feltran? Okay. All right. That's totally believable. All right. Well, after he moved to... There you go. Congratulations, whoever won. $1 million payout. Who got that?
Bernardo Feltran.
Oh, God. Okay. So after he moved back home to Pahrump and moved all his radio equipment, from then on, Coast to Coast AM would serve as an intimate and atmospheric late-night show that would give listeners good reason to stay up just a little longer. While political and current events would ultimately still be discussed during the late-night show, it was the divergence into the paranormal and unknown that would ultimately hook viewers. Throughout the night, Art would encourage people from all over the country and beyond to call in and have discussions about anything from aliens to ghosts to government conspiracies. As a result of this unique approach, Art Bell would not only entice millions of viewers to tune in, at one point netting over 10 million viewers, but would also invite a variety of colorful characters from all walks of life to have a very candid chat. How about we talk about some of them, Fernando?
Why, sure. Let's start with Mel's Hole.
Wow, that was
that's
smooth.
That's one of my favorite holes.
Is that? I thought you said one of my nicknames.
Yeah, they used to call me Mel's Hole back in high school.
Who is Mel?
I'm Mel.
Oh God. All right, so yeah, it's kind of funny. It's crazy how things work, you know. Like I said, you kind of started off as like a political commentator, you talk.
That's something that boggles my mind even today. Like that we give attention and call in, listen to some guy talk about politics,
Yep.
right? Because it's just confirming what you think, and it's just confirmation bias. It's just like, oh, he thinks like me, so he's a good guy.
It's an echo chamber, is what it is.
It is, dude. It's so.
I could be wrong. I'm not gonna pretend I know because I didn't. You know, he got big because of this. You know, and to be honest, even
did you vote by mail?
Vote by mail. I know. How could I? I know. What's wrong with me? But yeah, no. You know, it is kind of cool how he kind of found his calling through that because I think he just liked radio and he just kind of took what gigs he could get. But it is kind of, you know, interesting how he's like, no, man, I want to talk about ghosts and aliens. That sounds way more fun. Let's do this.
It is way more fun.
It totally is. I'd rather talk about that any day, which is why we do.
We should actually pivot to politics.
Oh, God.
Get a large audience and then pivot back to ghosts and aliens.
Okay, well, it's all got to be rage bait. I feel that's all we'd be good at.
Let's start with Mexicans, shall we?
Fernando is Mexican, by the way. Just saying. Like,
am I? I bleed red, white, and blue, brother.
all right. Well. Anyway.
Oh, say
okay. I'm not cutting that out, but I just want to make it crystal fucking clear.
I may or may not be Mexican. Who knows? Depends on who's asking.
Post me your ancestry. We were comparing our ancestries.
I want people to know what I am.
Dude, you're like everything, man.
I'm everything. I'm even whatever. We don't have to get into that. They're
Oh yeah, can we talk about Mel? Can we get into Mel's hole? I want to get into Mel's hole.
Let's get back. I want to go inside.
I want to dive into Mel's hole right now.
I want to lick this hole.
Okay, already.
I want to just like tongue it, you know, like just. All right, into the hole we go.
I'm not cutting that out. I'm not cutting that out.
All right, sure. Yeah, keep it in. I don't care. I lick holes all the time, dude.
All right, tell me about Mel's hole.
Yes, I will tell you about this hole. Among the countless strange and unforgettable stories shared on Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM, few have captured the imagination of listeners quite like the tale of Mel's Hole. The story began with a single phone call in 1997 from a man who identified himself as Mel Waters, and it quickly grew into one of the most enduring mysteries in paranormal radio lore. Mel claimed to live in rural...
Oh boy, it's that word.
Mel claimed to live in rural Washington State where he fuck rural. Rural. That's one of the words I fucking hate. All right, let's give it rural Washington State, where he said his property contained a mysterious and seemingly bottomless pit. According to Mel, the hole had unusual properties. Objects dropped into it never made a sound when they hit the bottom. Animals avoided it, and the area around it exhibited strange, energetic effects. Sounds like Stranger Things. And I think I've actually heard about this tale on one of those, like, probably Watch Mojo lists of, like, top 50 paranormal whatever. Like, I think this one's pretty famous. I think I even kind of know about it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a... I think out of all the ones we're going to talk about, this might be actually one of the lesser known ones, but it's still pretty well known. All right, well, I'm going to allow me to share some audio clips from this with you all.
Yes, I would like that.
So let's see. Let's see a little bit of the Mel's hole, Let's see a little bit of Mel's hole. Just a peek.
I want to go inside that hole. How tight is that hole?
Well, they can fit a whole dog down there, Anyways.
Anyways.
All right. Here, I'm gonna play some parts of the clip because if you want to watch the whole thing, by all means, I'll put the link below. But these are like
I want to watch all 36
minutes, and some of these episodes are over an hour long. So I'm only gonna give you a couple tidbits.
I want all the bits.
Mel's Hole, the bottomless pit in Washington State.
Mel's the guy with the never-ending hole, and we're going to ask him about it here in a moment. Now to Eastern Washington. I guess this is Eastern Washington. Mel, are you there?
Yes, I am.
First of all, Mel, thank you for answering. What are you doing up at this time of the morning?
Well, after I sent the fax, I'm living in town here now because we had a couple of our buildings out there cave in after the big snows that we had out here last month.
Oh, yes.
And so, 20.
Oh, fucking ad. Fucking ad. Son of a bitch. I need to get the ad-free version.
5 degrees, so it's not too cold.
Have you ever heard anything coming from any sounds or anything?
Well, the normal thing to do is kind of like yell into it there, to see an echo, and I've never heard an echo come out of that thing.
No echo.
At all. That's one of the first things I noticed about it. As usual, I brought the dogs with me. They wouldn't go anywhere near the damn thing, and I went back to the Suburban and hung out over there. So it was kind of if I try to bring them there on a leash, they'll just dig their feet in. They do not want to go anywhere near the hole, and so I don't know. It's just.
Well, you've got miles and miles of.
Yeah, I think. I'm measuring it by feet. I convert feet to yards, so I don't know how many miles that is. I assume it's a fair number of miles, though.
Well, 5,280 feet is a mile, so you really think you've got 80,000?
Yes, yeah. I get line in 5,000 yard spools, and so I've gone through that many.
Well, you have got a hole then that goes. Well, you can't say to the center of the earth, but you've got a hole that goes miles and miles and miles into the earth. I would think a university would be out there, boom, just like that. So the local legend of the hole.
Yeah, this could be an apocryphal story, but one guy claims that he threw his departed canine down into the hole.
Oh, really?
And he swears. Well, the story is the guy that did it swears the dog actually came back to him. And he was a hunter. He was a hunter. The story is that he was a hunter, and he was out there hunting, and he saw the same dog. He had the same collar. He had the same little little metal thing on his collar there, and he said it was the same dog. And he says he knew he threw the dog into the hole. But that's not my dog. That's not my.
It's not your story, but it's a story of a resurrected dog.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about the magical prowess of Mel's hole so far?
Sounds like internet hoaxy mumbo jumbo.
But Fernando's before the internet.
Yeah, but I mean, this is how people.
Everything was real back then.
Everything's a ghost story, dude. Right? Everything like someone else would be like, Did you hear about Mel's Hole? Like, did you hear about like? It was just a way for.
I heard it's gaping.
Yeah, I heard it's. Was it prolapsed?
All right, actually, I was wrong. The internet was actually a thing at this time. It was just in its infancy. By the way,
Yeah, in 1997. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, yeah, and basically the most of the episode, just delves more into Mel's Hole and talks more about it and all the various things have been thrown in it, and how many times he's yelled into it and hasn't heard an echo and all that stuff. So yeah, it's like you said, honestly, like it is kind of like a precursor to the stuff you see on YouTube. But I guess it was a little easier to kind of like shroud it in mystery because how are you going to prove me wrong?
Exactly. Are you going to come to my hole? Hell no, you're not.
Yeah, you stay out of my hole. That's my hole.
It's my hole.
It's my swamp.
Get up, me swamp. Donkey.
But we're not being very Art Bell like right now because he probably didn't believe this, but he was polite and he let the man cook. But we're just tearing this. Cook. We're just tearing up Mel's Hole. Okay.
Art Bell's calm, curious style allowed Mel to unfold his story without interruption, which made the strange details feel eerily believable. Almost immediately, listeners were hooked. Mel appeared multiple times on the show, each time adding new layers to the mystery. He claimed that government agents had confiscated his property, relocated him, and prevented him from returning to the hole. Later, he reported discovering another similar hole in Nevada with even more. I thought he was in Washington.
Wait, what?
Later, he reported discovering another similar hole in Nevada. He went to Nevada? When did he go to Nevada?
So, he's from Washington, but the man apparently went to Nevada and
okay, I guess now he's in Nevada.
He says he found a hole in Nevada. Yeah, I guess this man's finding holes everywhere. He's finding.
I guess he's in Nevada now. Each call expanded the mythology, and Bell, while skeptical, encouraged Mel's storytelling and asked clarifying questions that made the tale feel like an evolving investigation. Part of what made Mel's Hole so compelling was the mixture of folksy detail, escalating strangeness, and Mel's understated, matter-of-fact delivery. Art Bell's willingness to entertain the possibility of the unknown without pushing the story into outright sensationalism helped cement the tale as one of Coast to Coast AM's most iconic narratives. Despite attempts by enthusiasts and researchers, no verifiable evidence of Mel or the hole has ever surfaced. The mystery remains unsolved, leading many to suspect it was either an elaborate hoax or one of the greatest unscripted pieces of radio storytelling ever to broadcast. And that's kind of where I lean with this. It's like, it's probably just some guy that maybe he's a radio engineer at the station or whatever. He's probably just working there. And it's like, hey, how can we make something like people are going to want to listen to our show and ratings will stay high? Like, we got to give them a story, something believable, something that is creepy and paranormal. And so they write this on a notebook, a journal. They kind of flesh it out week by week. And then that's how, because if you go to Washington State and you never see a sinkhole, traveling the state, city to city, town to town, and you're like, have you heard of Mel's Hole? Have you heard of Mel's Hole? And the locals are just like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that one guy was like, yeah, it stinks.
Exactly. So it's just, it's not something that I buy. But this next one is something that I am curiously interested in.
So that doesn't mean the same thing.
What?
If you're curious and you're interested, it's the same thing.
Okay, let's do that again.
It's like a
this
double
next
positive.
one, however, is shut the fuck up. All right, will you for a second? One goddamn second.
Also, you didn't ask me my opinion.
I don't care about.
I need to tell you about what I think about Mel's Hole.
Okay, what do you think about Mel's Hole?
I agree with you. That's it.
I agree.
Okay. I agree. I do think there's a possibility, though. There might just be some guy out there who really enjoys telling stories on the radio. And he's like, I'm just going to keep calling and having fun with this. But it doesn't really matter whether it was an engineer at the radio station or some random guy. Either way, I think the point is the same. It's just someone having fun. But anyways, you may now continue on to the next one that you're curiously interested in.
Wait, am I reading this one or is this yours?
No, I'm reading it.
This is yours.
You can't take it all, Fernando.
I'm saying.
You already got Mel's hole. Why can't I talk too?
This one basically piques my interest, if that is better for you.
That's better, thank you.
And I hope you edit that last one out that you so... Whatever. But yes, this one...
You can say hi.
Stay focused!
I just want to say hi to you.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Hi.
Hi. I love you.
He said he loves you.
I love you.
Oh.
Sometimes more than him.
That's not true.
Or no, I guess some
No,
people do
it's this. You did it right the first time.
Well, no, yeah, but some people I saw started doing like...
They go like
What is
this.
it? Yeah, something like that.
I have a
They
question.
taught me at work the other day, and I said, "Ew, no."
Yeah, it's so weird, dude.
I said, "You're so Gen Z," even though it was my
it's
friend
a
a
Gen
year
Z
older than me
thing.
that showed me.
Yeah, it's so
like,
weird. It's like,
I have a question for you. What do you think of Mel's hole?
have you ever been inside of it?
I don't know.
You ever been inside Mel's hole?
It's for me to know and for you to never know.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right. Let's talk about that thing that you were curiously interested in, John Teeter.
Shut up. It's piqued my interest,
It's
or
piqued your interest.
deeply interested, or keenly interested.
Okay. All right. Few internet-era mysteries crossed over into mainstream paranormal culture as powerfully as the story of John Teeter, or as Fernando calls him, John Tits McGee. The alleged time traveler from the year 2036. And guys, we are not far from that year, just so you know.
Oh, don't say that.
We're close. We're actually closer to this year now than when this story broke.
Yeah.
Which is really
This
sad.
is
a long
they
shot.
actually made an anime and based it on the story of John Teeter, and it was really actually cool to see it done in that medium.
Oh,
okay. What was it called? Hold on. John Teeter anime. It was really good. Steins Gate. Basically about time travel.
Okay.
And the John Teeter story. Really cool. Check it out if you're ever bored.
I might have to. I won't.
I know you won't.
Okay.
But you'll watch Cars fucking 3 for
Hell
the 30th
yeah,
time.
brother. Lightning McQueen, my boy.
You want to watch the stars or the Cars art stories that I send you?
I don't want any more of those. Please don't look for them. I don't want my computer bursting into flames. Okay. Though Teeter first appeared throughout a number of early 2000s online forums, the good old days, his claims soon reached a larger audience, especially after becoming a reoccurring topic on Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM, where millions of late-night listeners would keep up with the story. John Teeter's story began in 2000 when someone using that name posted on bulletin boards describing himself as an American soldier sent back in time to retrieve an IBM 5100 computer. According to Teeter, this obsolete machine was needed in his timeline to debug legacy computer systems after a global catastrophe. Supposedly, it is insinuated that this was a nuclear war followed by civil unrest. So, I could see it. Maybe this story is true. Maybe we are,
Dude, yeah, we're running out of time.
It's only 10 years from now. I could see that. I could totally see it.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Oh, God. So I guess my advice is take out your 401k and just go have fun with it. You're not going to need it anyways.
Honestly, I should just do that.
Mourning Brew is not actually responsible for real financial advice. So if you lose all your money and the world does not end, we do not take liability.
Austin will reimburse you.
Yes. I'll personally reimburse you with
His own 401k.
My own 401k, which is not very big. Anyway.
Pretty big.
You haven't.
I've seen something that's pretty big.
Mel's hole.
Anyways,
John Teeter's
spelled N-E way.
My God, we're rough today.
Oh, we're so bad. Mostly you. I'm killing it.
Oh yeah, it's going. It's great. It's awesome. It's amazing.
Oh, well, yeah. No, but we're rusty. We're rusty. Mostly you, but yeah, we're rusty.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, his post blended technical data. Jesus Christ. His post blended technical.
Get it together.
Oh, God. His post blended technical details, bleak predictions, and a surprisingly grounded tone, which helped fuel the belief that he might be genuine, or at least the most convincing time traveler hoax in internet history. Art Bell didn't host Teeter directly, but Coast to Coast AM became one of the major platforms where Teeter's claims were dissected, debated, and elevated into legend. Bell, fascinated by time travel and the paranormal, devoted multiple shows to analyzing Teeter's predictions, discussing listener theories, and interviewing guests who attempted to authenticate or debunk the story. Bell's open-minded curiosity and willingness to explore wild possibilities made Coast to Coast AM the perfect home for the Teeter saga. His discussions helped carry the story far beyond internet forums and into the broader paranormal community. Much of the debate on Coast to Coast AM centered on Teeter's predictions, civil war in the United States, global conflict, and severe technological disruptions. Listeners called in to argue about the plausibility of Teeter's many worlds explanation, which he used to justify why some predictions might not occur in our timeline.
Wait, what was his excuse for basically being wrong?
Many worlds. We got the Marvel,
Oh, yeah, they talk about that in the anime, multiple timelines.
Yeah. So that's a very convenient way to be like, well,
You've altered the timeline.
Fernando didn't become
Austin
president.
didn't shit his pants.
Right.
We've altered the timeline.
Right. Fernando didn't become president because the timeline's been altered. He lost out by one vote because someone voted by mail. It was terrible. It was just horrible.
And it was Austin.
It was me voting against you.
He sent it to the wrong address.
Anybody who wasn't Fernando that was running, I voted for. It's just I couldn't live with that. Can I have been in your?
Austin doesn't like to see immigrants succeed.
I've
heard his water cooler talk. It's not very online friendly.
We don't have a water cooler.
We used to at the office.
We don't have a water cooler at that office.
Coffee cooler, whatever you want to call it.
The Keurig. We all huddled around the Keurig and just talk shop.
We sometimes did. Are you gonna say I'm wrong on that?
No, you're not. But the way you're trying to portray this was there's a group of 5 of us all talking about the game over the weekend, and oh man, I miss the good old days when we worked together.
Those were good days, but
they were fun. There was some
emotionally and physically that place was not good for me.
No, that's fair. But it was nice. It was cool. I actually working with a friend. I've never worked with a friend before, so it's kind of cool.
I mean, you did at TSA. You also worked with me, you piece of shit.
We weren't friends.
We weren't. I forgot you had a bitch.
Dude, he's a plastic surgeon now. Okay. I don't know.
Is he actually?
That's what he went to school for. After TSA, he will have to go back to medical school.
Plastic surgery.
Yeah.
For plastic surgery specifically.
Yep.
Oh, he wants to live in LA, nip tuck, huh?
See, you're even impressed.
Yeah. And then you got your other BFF, Taylor.
I never see.
He's probably not even subscribed to this chat.
Probably not. He doesn't listen to anything. I message him maybe once every 4 months, and usually it's him messaging me about beer, and I'm like, okay, I don't drink, but he'll make an appearance in the next couple years, I'm sure. Not on here, but in life.
I wonder if he'll still have hair.
I don't know. I can't speak. I don't have a lot of hair, but I do also cut my hair very short. By the way,
do the hedges match the trees?
Much of the debate on Coast to Coast AM centered on Teeter's predictions, civil war in the United States, global conflict, and severe technological disruptions. Listeners called in to argue about the plausibility of Teeter's many worlds explanation, which he used to justify why some predictions might not occur in our timeline. Bell's callers debated passionately, and the topic, I don't know, Mel's hole just entered my mind after saying the word passion. What is this stupid bullshit?
I just want to know if the curtains match the drapes.
Oh my god! Oh, my face is so red. I'm crying. Oh shit!
Oh.
Oh fuck! Okay. How'd you do that? Out of curiosity, like, how did you do that? Oh, soundboard.
So soundboard, yeah. You got it. Hell yeah.
Oh boy. Whew. Can I please finish?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Bell's callers debated passionately, and the topic became a reoccurring fixture on open line nights, cementing Teeter's status as a cultural artifact of the early 2000s techno paranoia. That's still going on. Now it's just AI. Whether Teeter was a hoaxer, a piece of performance art, or something stranger, his story remains one of the most iconic time travel narratives of the digital age. Through Art Bell's platform, the legend reached millions, becoming a staple of coast-to-coast AM lore. So you're interested in John Teeter, you like it. I don't think I get the vibe that you believe it, but you are intrigued by it.
I'm intrigued by it, because it's like a... I don't know, to guess... And maybe it's just because we're actually close to that, but like still like 10 years off. I mean... Maybe the guy just had a really best guess to when there's going to be political turmoil. Maybe he just like kind of did a rough guesstimate of like, oh, you know, every so many years there's major conflict. There was the Civil War, then World War I, World War II. Every like World War I in 1860s, Civil War 1860s, 40, another 20 years, World War I. So about 50, 60 years, and then 30 years, World War II. I don't know how he chalked it up to 2036, but it was it's a hell of a guess, and it's looking like a hell of a right guess right now.
Yeah. So no, I mean, you're right, and they're actually I'm trying to find it. There's a book I have. I'm currently working through it, and I really think it's pretty good. Basically, the whole point of this book is to identify cycles. And yes, it technically, like, you can apply this to like almost any place in the world, but this one specifically tends to focus more on the United States, and kind of how, because we're such a new country, so it's easier kind of to see how these have, how these are going in real time. But basically, the book was written in like the 90s, like the late 90s. And the guy was kind of like, listen, this book is not made to predict any event specifically. Like, I'm not telling you, like, this event's going to happen this year, it's going to result in this. But he was pretty, like, generalized. Like, for example, like, and keep in mind, written in the 90s, he's like, there's a good chance with the way the cycles work that in the 2000s, like, in the late 2000s, in the 2020s, there will be an event that is going to cause global upheaval, and it's going to affect the country for the next decade. The book, yeah, it's a really great book. And again, the guy's not trying to predict, like, this is going to happen. It's not like he predicted, like, specific events, but he's like, it just makes sense because these cycles are like every 20 years, and basically one complete, he compares them to like the seasons, so like one, or like the year, seasons of the year. And he's like, 1 year, quote unquote, would be 80 years because that's like the expected age that you're going to, people live to, 80 years. And every 20 years, people kind of, change, basically. Like, stuff happens. Not just people, but the actual, like, movements, society, everything changes. And these generations, the ones that fall into these, are in different places during this point. So, not to get on this tangent, but, like, Gen Z are in a different place than millennials. Millennials are in a different place than Gen Xers. Gen Xers are in a different place than boomers. It's... I will say, though, there's some things that have not come true. Like, for example, the older generations are supposed to serve as guides and advisors, and that is not happening right now. Anyways...
Yeah, they were very selfish after the boomer period.
It's very much like you need to figure it out on your own, but anyways, not going to go there. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, so basically what I'm trying to go with is John Teeter might, if there really was a guy doing this, he just might have been really good at reading these cycles, I'll try to remember the name of the book. It'll come to me and I'll tell you, but it's a very good book. I really do like it. And the guy aims to be like very like.
Did you read it? So you read it?
I'm like halfway through it. He's very like, he doesn't want the book to be a political book. He's like, this isn't a book written for Republicans. This isn't a book written for Democrats. This is not a book written for independent. It has nothing to do with politics. This is just like, these are the facts. This is what happens. Some people think it's a good thing. Some people think it's a bad thing, but this is what I think will happen. And to be honest, a lot of his shit is pretty spot on. It's actually kind of
scary how it is, right?
It is. It's very scary. But it also just shows how predictable human nature is. We're unpredictable, but we're predictable.
We're very predictable in terms of conquest and war and all that shit, dude.
Nothing's changed.
Political turmoil.
It's always been that way, and it always will be that way. But okay, so yeah, John Teeter, interesting case.
Anyways,
don't know if
your thoughts on John Teeter?
Oh, thank you for asking me for my opinion this time around. It's so nice of you.
You're begging me to tell you. Okay, it's fine.
No, I think it's just some dude in a, in a chat forum having fun. Because how the hell? How do you prove him wrong if you say you're in the future? I think it's just some guy having fun. Some people really wanted to latch on to. I think time travel stories, we all know when we get, because there's lots of stories like this. Yeah. We all know it's BS. We all know it's not. Sorry, most of us don't think this is real. But there's part of you that's like, but what if? Right. But what if it's true? What if this guy's not? Because the thing is, you won't know until you know. I mean, granted, he could just guess and get it right, but I think everyone wants to believe not only that because it's interesting, but I think people really want to believe that humanity will achieve these heights of time travel, because that would be one of the greatest feats ever. That would immediately be used for really bad things, but from a technical standpoint, from a progress standpoint of humanity, if we achieve time travel, that'd be amazing. That would. Honestly, I think that'd be more amazing than literally anything we could do.
What would be more amazing, if we discovered time travel or if we discovered immortality?
I think time travel. Seriously, I do. I do think
it would be so messy because like everyone would just try to go back and change it to their I want this war to end this way. I want this war to end this. It's just it'd be such a mess. Right.
And I mean, I guess I should clarify when I say time travel, going back in time, because they've, there is quote unquote, there is quote unquote, plausibility and proof, according to people like Stephen Hawking and shit. Time travel is possible, but only going forward. And it would involve things that I'm not smart enough to understand, but it's the concept of like an interstellar, when time passes faster on one planet and another, and using wormholes and shit like that. Theoretically, if we had the technology to utilize these things without us either exploding and getting crushed by forces or just getting too old and dying because it takes too long, you could do it. But you can't go back in time like that. At least we don't think you can go back in time. According to people that are very, very smart, you cannot go back in time, but you can go forward in time. Interesting. And the way I guess I'd describe that is almost like just kind of putting you, the person experiencing the time travel, in a form of stasis. In other words, by going to another planet where time goes slower, or going through a wormhole or some shit like that. But the problem is, what's the point of that? I mean, unless you're a sociopath, everyone will be dead. Everyone would be dead. Like, what would be the point? Also, the other thing that kind of sucks too is, I saw it like as a joke, but it's true. If you go to a planet like that, far on a planet with today, pretend 20 years from now we have the technology to get you there in 30 years. There's a good chance by the time you arrived where you were going, there would be people there already, because technology would be exponentially better, and they would have built a ship or whatever that could get people there in a third of the time. It would, so whoever goes almost gets screwed.
You'd be like a caveman. Yeah, right. You'd be a caveman.
You get screwed immediately. But But yeah, so that's where I stay with John Titor. I would love to believe it, but I don't believe it. But
Okay.
I think he's pretty spot on with some of the stuff he's saying. I'll give him that.
Ooh, okay. I knew this name sounded familiar. Now I see it. This next one involves the name George Lutz. And you might think that that sounds familiar if you're into the paranormal, and that's because George Lutz was best known as the patriarch of the family whose experiences inspired the Amityville Horror. George Lutz became a reoccurring figure in paranormal media throughout the late 20th and early 21st centuries. His accounts of the alleged haunting at 112 Ocean Avenue helped define an era of American ghost lore.
Ocean Avenue.
I was wondering that.
Sorry.
And few platforms explored such stories more extensively than Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM. Art Bell, famed for his late-night radio show that delved into the fringe topics UFOs, hauntings, cryptids, government conspiracies, and the unexplained, offered an ideal venue for the Lutz to share their personal narrative. Their conversations were a natural fit. Bell excelled at creating an open environment for guests to tell extraordinary stories, and Lutz brought one of the most infamous paranormal accounts of the 20th century. Cue the video.
Story Dutch colonial in the quaint Long Island community of Amityville. Little did they know that a legend was about to be born. In a moment, the truth, the real truth behind that legend. All right, here from Las Vegas, Nevada, just over the hill, is George Lutz. George?
Hi, Art.
Hey, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. George, you're not on a, what kind of phone are you on now?
I'm on a hard line.
Oh, you're on a hard line. Okay, good.
Got a bit of static tonight.
Yeah, I hear that. I hope it doesn't get us. All right. What are you doing in Las Vegas, by the way?
Gambling,
right
baby.
Now I'm repairing computers and restoring old cars.
Uh-huh. Old cars, your love.
It's what I enjoy the most, but I have what's called fibromyalgia, so there are times when I just can't do the work.
I understand. Well, all right, George. Maybe we'll investigate the possibility of another line or another telephone. It was good. I wonder what happened.
I'm not good.
Okay, well, you knew, I presume you knew, about the DeFeo massacre, that 6 people had been murdered in that house. I mean, that's a very serious thing to have occurred.
We didn't know this when we first went to see the house. We knew it after the realtor told us after we had toured the house.
It was a pretty good price, right?
The market, it had been on the market for, I believe, 100,000 or so, and by then it had been reduced, if I remember correctly, to 90. We made an offer of 80, and they accepted it.
Really? What do you think, George? What do you think market value was for that house then? Real market value?
Well, the house was 4,000 feet. It had a boathouse that would take easily a 36-foot boat at the time. It had a 2-car garage attached to that, a heated pool, a full basement. My guess would be then realistically 125,000 would have been not unheard of.
All right, then. So at some point you must have asked yourself or the realtor, hey, how come? Maybe after you consummated the deal, how come it's so cheap? Or when did you find out 6 people had been murdered there?
After she showed it to us, and it was obvious that Kathy had fallen in love with it, and I liked it very much, she said, I don't know if I should have told you this before I showed it to you or after, but this is the house the DeFeos were murdered in. And we kind of looked at her like, what do you mean? And then she reminded us of the news stories that had been a year earlier, and the trial that was just, I guess, in the process of starting or was going on.
All right.
So there's a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's something I'd like to know before I buy a house, whether or not someone's been brutally murdered.
I find it quite surprising. And yes, I mean, obviously, people have opinions about what happened and stuff, but it's a little surprising to me that he didn't know about that. How did you not know? I mean, I guess Google wasn't a thing, you know?
It wasn't a thing. It was just news radio. And that's the thing. It's not like you had DVR and you could look up any news segment you wanted to, or like it's basically like if you miss the news at 9 o'clock, you're not going to see it again.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. That makes sense.
Could have been in the papers, but like, I mean, what do they do in the movie? I think she goes to the archives of the library. Like, who's doing that, right?
Right. Well, no, now. Actually, I've never even been to our library, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, you don't read.
I read. I buy books from Amazon.
Smut.
Yes, nothing but smut. I just read nothing but Mel's Whole Erotica.
And Cars 3.
And Cars 3 Erotica, yes.
Day, he asked what we were still doing there. He was surprised that we were still even in the house, and it hadn't even occurred to us to, even at that point, to just up and abandon everything and get in the van and leave. That night, Kathy had levitated and moved away from me on the bed.
No, wait a minute. Slow up right there.
Sure.
Kathy levitated.
Yes.
Now, you were both in bed?
Yes.
And you were both awake or both asleep or at the time or what?
Kathy was asleep.
She was asleep.
And she lifted up off the bed and went towards the wall away from me.
Huh.
This is after she had turned into an old crone, a really ugly old woman that literally took hours and hours for it to go away.
In front of your face?
Yes, and then later she did that again at her mom's house after we moved out of the house and moved in with her mom.
I thought she was just being a bitch.
So yeah,
sorry.
No,
you can edit that out.
No, that was the end of it actually. Anyway, so it was perfect timing. Yeah, so it's probably not surprising that George Lutz and the story of Amityville. If you don't, I mean, I'd be surprised if you don't know anything about it. But if you don't know anything about it, there is a lot of controversy surrounding this family. Because if I remember correctly, after they left, the people after them reported literally nothing happening.
Nothing. Yeah.
Like,
I remember that.
So,
and then they were trying to get a book deal and a movie and all that stuff, and
right,
it seemed very much like a publicity stunt. Especially, I mean, this guy was going on the local news, the national news, wanted to get the story out.
One thing I also didn't mention either is the Warrens were involved in this one.
I remember that.
You know, we covered that a little bit, I think, in the Smurl haunting, and actually, I think this story kind of
shout out the Smurls.
This kind of, I don't know. I think it kind of reminisces. Well, this is actually precursor to the Smurl haunting. This was actually like right before. This is the story that pushed the Warrens into the spotlight, and then the Smurl haunting was one of the first ones after they were in the spotlight that the Warrens hit. But I think it kind of parallels the Smurl haunting because, like we said, immediately after they left, it stopped. Now, granted, the Smurls' excuse was that they were followed. The ghosts followed them. I don't know if they followed the Lutzes.
The magic mirror did.
Yeah, the mirror. Oh, God. I was Lacey. Hi, Lacey.
Where? Oh, baby's come back. Oh, hello.
She's a star.
God, every time we watch a movie, she is, because she gets in front of the TV and just stares at us.
She just can't get enough of the spotlight.
The spotlight.
So yeah, yet another very interesting, but very controversial figure in the supernatural.
Yeah,
dome.
I can't really put too much faith in Mr. Lutz's comments, statements, stories.
I've been meaning to talk about this, and I just thought about it again. So you are less of a believer of the supernatural than you'd say about a year ago, right? Would we say that?
It's bad for our brand, but yeah.
So I want to do this with you, and we have to try to rope Lily into it.
Immediately she'll say no.
Sam, and Lily. Or you can choose a friend. You can choose a friend. Or you can just go with us. It doesn't matter. Sam can third world it. She can third wheel it. My God, dude, I can't talk today. She can third wheel it. We need to go to like one of the penitentiaries in Pennsylvania, where it's like all night long. They give you the tools. They're like, be free, go out into the penitentiary, do some ghost hunting. There's some areas you're not allowed to go to, obviously, because it's just dangerous. But we get to spend the night and we get to ghost hunt. Because if you truly don't believe in it anymore, you should.
mean I gotta sleep on the floor of an old abandoned penitentiary?
We're not sleeping.
Oh.
We don't sleep.
So I gotta stay up and ruin my sleep schedule?
Yes. And we gotta hunt some ghosts.
Some ghosts?
Would you do it?
I'd probably do it. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Really
All right.
want to do it.
We heard it here,
If it's near
folks.
Pittsburgh, she'll just stay at Pittsburgh.
If you want to see us make a video about that, let us know, because I'd love to do it. I think it'd be
God,
fun.
we'd have to buy so much equipment, though.
No, they provide the equipment.
Oh, okay. So
And we can use our phones. Like, really, like that's all you need.
Okay.
See?
All right.
Holding you to it. All right, you may proceed with the rest of the Lutz story if you'd like.
Throughout his interviews, Lutz spoke about the 28 days he and his family lived in the Amityville house, recounting phenomena such as mysterious noises, strange odors, sudden cold spots, and psychological disturbances. Bell, known for his calm, probing style, allowed Lutz to elaborate on details often glossed over in mainstream interviews. Listeners responded strongly to these episodes as they blended true crime, supernatural lore, and first-person testimony, elements that defined some of the most memorable broadcasts of Bell's career. The appearances on Coast to Coast AM helped cement Lutz's version of events with the broader paranormal community. For many fans of the show, hearing Lutz directly, rather than through books or film dramatizations, added a layer of authenticity, or at least emotional weight to his story. Whether listeners fully believed him or not, his interviews became part of the fabric of Bell's late-night explorations into the unknown. Ultimate thoughts on Mr. Was it William Lutz?
It was
George Lutz.
George Lutz. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I think he's full of it, to be honest with you.
I would have to agree on that.
I just don't be wrong, like, I really do think, if you believe in this stuff, and I'm trying to help here a little bit. If you believe this stuff, like supernatural stuff, moving into a house where a quadruple homicide, 5 people, was it 4 or 5 people? I can't remember how many it was. It was the wife,
6 or something.
Yeah, I mean, okay, whatever. Who's counting after 4, right? You move to a house with that many people dead or murdered in the very rooms that you're hanging out in and sleeping in. If you believe in the supernatural, I could see you thinking you're seeing things and experiencing things. Now, your wife turning into an old crone who begins to float into the air. I don't know about that one, but yeah, I mean, if I believe that stuff and I was very freaked out about a huge murder that's went on in my house, I might see shadows out of the corner of my eye. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, so I'm trying to help George a little bit here, but ultimately,
Trying to give
no.
him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but ultimately, I don't believe him. Ultimately, I still don't believe him that he didn't know. I don't care if there was no Google. I feel you would have so many people being like, "You're moving into that house? What? Like, are you crazy?" I mean, hell, when we moved to this house, when we were looking at moving this house, do you know how many people approached us and said, "Are you aware of how busy it gets for Halloween here?" And we're like, no, and they're like, you'll get like 800 people here, and that's not a lie. They did not over exaggerate. You're gonna.
There's not even 800 people in that city, dude. In that town,
they bust them in. I don't know what they're doing, man. We got over 1,000 kids last Halloween. Like, seriously, it's crazy. But we were getting warned left and right about trick or treating. People aren't gonna warn you about like a freaking multiple homicide in the house that you're moving in. I mean, like, I don't know. That's just weird to me. But. Whatever, sure.
All right, next episode.
All right, next person we're going to talk about is Madman Markham.
God, I love Marcus.
Do you know this part? Do you know this one at all?
No.
Well, this is kind of another time travel-ish one, kind of. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll let you decide what you think. Alrighty.
Decide.
We'll decide. Mike Madman Markham became one of the most memorable reoccurring guests in the history of Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM, earning an almost mythic status among longtime listeners. Known for his bold claims of attempting to build a working time machine, Markham embodied the kind of fringe curiosity that made Art Bell's show a cultural phenomenon. Markham first gained local notoriety in the early 90s after experimenting with a homemade Jacob's ladder and an unusual device he called a time machine. According to his account, the machine caused objects, including famously a screwdriver, to disappear and reappear seconds later. His experiments drew unwanted attention from law enforcement when he tapped power from local utility poles to run the device, earning him the nickname Madman.
So I've heard the term of Jacob's Ladder, and I know there's a horror movie of it, but I still don't understand the concept of it, like what it is.
Well, that's great because it's going to be explained to you.
Okay.
Ask and you shall receive, my friend.
I am asking.
That quest for knowledge, that thirst for knowledge is never satiated.
I am lusting for that knowledge, dude.
Oh boy! All right, let's hear from these guys quick.
Had a capacity of 12 to 76,000 volts each, enough to easily cause electrocution or an explosion. Markham, who told police that he has 2 years of college-level electrical engineering, said he was building a time machine, but didn't have enough power for it. That's according to the Stanbury police chief, Tom Hampton. Hampton said, quote, "He's not nuts. He appears to be an intelligent person with a lack of common sense. Maybe." Hampton said Markham told officers he had not tried to enter the spark gap, and neither had anyone else. If anyone had, they probably would have been electrocuted, not transported in time. Presumably, he decided that if he got enough electricity together, he could build a time machine, because there is the concept that if you're going to do it, it's going to require an enormous amount of energy. Through it right now and find out exactly what it is Michael was trying to do. We'll get back to him in just a moment. Michael, are you there?
Yeah.
Good. First of all, had you heard that story before?
Oh, about,
yeah, the one I just read?
Yeah.
You've heard that, huh?
Yeah. It's like I'm, collecting clippings on it now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
How old are you, Michael?
21.
21. Pretty young.
Yeah, very.
Now, let's go kind of back through the story like you and I did earlier today. This all began... Well, why did it... Well, that's a good question. I didn't even ask that. Why did this begin in the first place? What were you trying to do in the first place?
Originally, I just set out to make a fancy Jacob's ladder, and this was like what it turned out to be. I didn't like...
Right, a lot of people don't know what a Jacob's ladder is. Tell them what it is.
Simply, in a nutshell, it's like two metal rods with a spark going up in between it. And once it reaches the top, it starts back to the bottom again. So,
that kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Like from a Frankenstein movie.
Yeah. That's where they got started at.
Okay, well, there are ways to do that. The Van de Graaff generator, for example, you move up Jacob's ladder. It's what it's called, Jacob's ladder. When he got it all going, he noticed a very strange, sort of shimmery effect above the arc, and he threw a screw into it, common screw, and the screw disappeared. Well, now we're into something else. So our hero, Michael, went over to the power company and stole 6 power transformers, which he then hooked up to his line at home and made a giant model on his back porch using 2 gigantic poles.
I've been interested in those things since I was like 12 or 13, so...
You know, there were physicists in this article who commented that you were actually more or less on the right track. I mean, they sort of, even though they didn't think you should be doing it, they more or less endorsed the direction you were going in with regard to time travel.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of with you. I mean, I know the young lady and the officer are saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
But
well, they're afraid I'm going to turn myself into fried bacon or something.
Well, of course, and you may.
Yeah.
All right, so that's kind of the beginnings of Art Bell's discussions with Mr. Markham.
Okay.
Did that kind of explain a little bit about what a Jacob's Ladder was to you? Do you get it?
I think so. I just didn't realize it was like that because like I know they made a horror movie about it, but that doesn't sound like. I don't know. I think I get it though. I understand.
Okay. So you're ready to go make one yourself?
No.
No?
Why would I need to make one? Why would I want? What's the purpose?
I don't know. Why not?
All right. What do I need electricity to randomly go up 2 poles?
Because it looks cool. Aw, Macy's hitting you with the tail.
Yeah, she always does that.
All right. So, as you kind of saw, Art Bell invited Markham onto Coast to Coast, and this was done in 1995. This instantly transformed him into a local eccentric. This transformed this local eccentric into a national curiosity. Bell had a talent for attracting guests whose experiences straddled the line between science and the supernatural, and Markham's story fit perfectly into that landscape. Listeners were captivated by Markham's calm, matter-of-fact explanations of his invention, as well as his belief that he could refine it into something capable of transporting a human being. Once again, Bell's open-mindedness yet probing interviewing style helped make his guests feel comfortable enough to draw out the technical details and personal motivations behind his work. Markham would return for multiple interviews, each time updating the audience on his plans, setbacks, and unwavering ambition. One of the lasting legends surrounding Madman Markham comes from his final appearance on the show, during which he stated he was building a larger, more powerful version of his device. Soon after, Markham seemingly vanished from public view, sparking rumors among fans that he had succeeded in his experiment.
The government got him.
Or met a stranger fate, aka the government got him, or he just fried himself. While there is no evidence currently of a supernatural disappearance, the mystery only strengthened his place in coast-to-coast AM folklore. So yeah, Madman Markham was just kind of like they said, local eccentric. Seemed like a smart guy who maybe read a few too many comic books, possibly.
Yeah, I see that.
You know, I'm sure he is smart. What he was able to do, I couldn't do. I don't think I could do it. I probably would have fried myself. Although, I don't know if you caught it in the beginning, but he did steal stuff like Transformers and stuff like that and power and whatever and made it work. But by the way, off topic, but me and Sam were walking around the neighborhood last week, and we realized that every telephone pole, we have metal telephone poles all around our neighborhood.
Okay.
Every telephone pole, halfway up the pole, had outlets you could plug something into. I just thought that was weird. I've never.
That is odd. Yes.
Never noticed that, but it's funny because they're halfway up.
I mean, I guess it makes sense if they have to use electric tools to work on it. They just plug it in there.
It's true, but it is funny how they're halfway up, so you can't get to them.
Yeah.
They're really not convenient for anybody, even the people who need them. But it's just kind of funny because for a fact there's going to be somebody with an extension cord plugging it into there and trailing it into their yard or whatever. So I'm sure that's why.
Somebody. This guy, yeah.
I would never do that. What are you talking about?
No, not you. The guy from the fucking...
I'm just kidding. I would do that. Why not? I pay for that electricity. My taxes.
Yeah, you're going to jail. I'd report you.
Oh, God. I know you would. All right, so yeah, Markham's just an interesting guy. But I will say, I think you should be happy. I left you arguably not only the most famous caller ever, but by far one of the most interesting, I would say, stories of this medium out there.
Okay.
And I think it's eerie. I actually think if you just kind of I'll let you get into it. I don't want to take your thunder away, but it's eerie. I think it's eerie. I don't know if I believe in it, but it's eerie.
I wonder if I've heard this one. I think I have.
Oh, you definitely have.
I think, yeah, because the Gray Swin tale, right?
Hey, you played a game on this.
Yeah.
That was based on this entire thing on our other channel.
I remember that, and it was a creepy intro. I remember that.
So what are we talking about, Fernando? Who are we talking about?
We are about to get into the Area 51 caller. Finally, few moments in late night radio history are as iconic are as shrouded in speculation as the mysterious Area 51 caller, who phoned into Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM on September 11th, 1997. In a show known for unforgettable paranormal guests, this single frantic call became one of the most replayed and debated segments in the program's long run. During an open line segment, a trembling, panicked man claimed to be a former employee of Area 51. He called into the show, sounding terrified. He warned listeners that the U.S. government was preparing for catastrophic events and that extra-dimensional beings were somehow involved. Play the clip, Austin.
Oh, with pleasure.
Fine, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
I started getting...
It's pretty tough to, unless you're like a really well-trained, not well-trained, but a decent actor to sound as, what do you call it? Frazzled, frightened,
scared, like just scared. I mean,
scared. Like that was pretty like believable, right? Like I lean more towards believable than fake. Or acting, which it could be. It could very well just be like it could have been another written skit or whatever. I like the story of saying that they've infiltrated the government and all that stuff because it makes it seem like, oh, are these extra dimensional beings like really just like lizard people, whatever, wearing human skin, like causing all these war and mischief and destroying the world to control us, whatever. I like to think of that Twilight episode where the aliens come and people think they're our friends and they leave a book behind and then it's a cookbook. It's a cookbook.
It is funny. Like, I'm sorry.
That one was scary.
It is scary. It's scary. That would have scared a lot of people, actually.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny when there's like stuff that's like on the nose. That's like, oh no, you left the cookbook with this in there. How could you, Marv? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, fucking, you dumbass. But I get the point. Like, there has to be that comeuppance at the end to be like, oh, you know, like, shit, this is what's happening. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
Here's the twist.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. And basically, you know, obviously, this is kind of what this guy is saying is going to happen, essentially. Maybe not a cookbook, but, you know, something else. But I do not want to steal your thunder, so I want to let you read it. But that is not the only thing that happened with this call that makes it so believable. There's something like you saw, not the viewers, but you noticed probably like the end of the recording. Well, the end of the recording was actually like a transmission cut. So he went out, and people would just think, oh well, let's say you're on the fence and you think he's faking it, right? Well, he just hung up, right? Okay. Well, I'll let Fernando explain, because that's not what happened.
What made the moment legendary was not the caller's frightened tone, but the sudden technical failure that hit the broadcast mid-call. Audio cut out, the satellite link dropped, and the show went off the air for several moments. When Bell returned, he calmly noted that their system had suffered a complete outage. Fans have speculated ever since. Coincidence or cover-up? Art Bell's handling of the situation cemented the moment's mythic status. Known for his steady, composed presence, even during the strangest claims, Bell neither sensationalized nor dismissed the caller. Instead, he let the moment speak for itself. A hallmark of his interviewing style that made Coast to Coast AM the gold standard for fringe and paranormal talk. The call became so iconic, the Bell replayed it in subsequent broadcasts, and it has been referenced in documentaries, podcasts, and online forums for decades. Years later, a man called in claiming to be the original Area 51 caller, saying the whole thing had been a hoax. However, many listeners doubted the confession, noting that the voice, the tone, and demeanor were drastically different. For fans, the mystery only deepened. And who knows, right? Maybe it was a hoax. Maybe he was having an episode of psychosis. Can be a plethora of things, but that's what makes this clip so iconic.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said earlier, it's so iconic that someone actually made an indie game about it, basically.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite games. It was a shorter game, but for as far as the short games that I played on our YouTube channel go, it was one of my more favorite ones.
It's also pretty jarring. I wasn't, because obviously that was back when I was editing your videos and stuff like that, and when I was watching it, it's kind of jarring when all of a sudden I'm listening, oh man, I'm wait a second, this is actually this is a real recording. And I looked it up, I was oh shit, this is real. So yeah, no, it's spooky, it's interesting. I don't know, if the guy faked it, I'm not even saying I necessarily believe it. I'm just saying if the guy faked it, he was a pretty good actor. I'm going to give him that. So
yeah, I would say so. I would agree with that.
And it is weird you'd call back a couple or a few years later to be hey, it was, by the way, it was a hoax, Why?
Yeah, don't think of it. Don't think
What's
of it.
the
Don't
point?
talk about it.
So I don't know. And in my opinion, that is Art Bell's probably most recognized, call he ever had. I mean, it's like you said, it's iconic. It's, a lot of people know about that one. And for good reason. It's eerie. It's creepy. It's got panic in it. And if true, we're all doomed. So
always have been, brother.
Well, that's true. We were doomed from the start.
That's the dirty secret.
All right, guys. That brings us to the end of our journey through the late night world of Coast to Coast AM, a place where the strange, the unexplained, and the downright impossible found a voice. Art Bell didn't just host a radio show, he created crossroads for truth seekers, storytellers, hoaxers, visionaries, and terrified callers clutching secrets that they could only share in the darkness. From Madman Markham's time-bending experiments, to Mel's bottomless hole, to the trembling Area 51 whistleblower, and even the enigmatic John Teeter. These callers became more than voices on a phone. They became legends. Their stories seeped into the fabric of paranormal culture and forever changed the way we think about what might be lurking just beyond the veil of the ordinary. But what made all of this possible was Bell's unique gift, his ability to listen without judgment, to let the unusual breathe, to create a space where listeners could suspend disbelief, even if only for a moment, and consider the possibility that the universe is far stranger than we currently imagine. So, as we sign off tonight, remember this: whether you believe every word, none of it, or something in between, the magic of Art Bell's world lives on in the questions these callers left behind. Questions that keep us curious, keep us wondering, keep us tuning in long after the static fades. that was a different one. You know, like it definitely, you know, usually we have like one story we focus on and we talk about, you know, kind of it. But, you know, I thought like this was kind of a nice little intro to Art Bell, you know, like I think he's, if you're into paranormal stuff, which I'm guessing if you've listened to this episode this long, you must be somewhat into it. You can kind of probably, in a weird way, thank him for all the paranormal stuff you see on YouTube for the most part. I mean, I know UFOs and stuff like that have always been fringe, but, you know, I would say he made it more acceptable and easy to talk about without being labeled an idiot and crazy. You know, it wasn't that long ago. If you said you believed in aliens, you know, most people are looking at you like you're a little messed up. Nowadays, I think if you say you don't believe in aliens, everyone's looking at you like you're an idiot. So, you know, it's people like Art Bell who kind of like paved the way to do that. So I think that's pretty cool. Fernando just flashed the screen. So what'd you think? I know this is a little different, like I just said, but
I like this format. This was fun. This was cool.
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
I would say it's a way to kind of, you know, it's a good intro for, you know, someone like this who had so many stories. I mean, there are so many amazing stories that I didn't even list in here. And, you know, every single one of these people, maybe with the exception of the Area 51 caller, but you could probably do a whole entire episode on every single person in here, which is cool. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, maybe we can revisit a format similar to this where, like, I don't know if he has any episodes on cryptids. We can do something like that. But this is pretty cool. Shout out Art Bell for bringing the weird to mainstream media.
Yeah, definitely. In a way, I'm kind of like sad because this would have been like, I would have loved listening to this on like, you know, my drives home and stuff like that after work. Had been, I don't know, been cool.
Instead, you read Cars 3 smut.
Yep, that's all I do. But okay.
Lightning McQueen and Mater.
Oh, God. Mater, what are you doing to Lightning McQueen's exhaust pipe?
Stop that. Stop that.
But all right, you know, it's weird. I don't have to end this episode with anything like, you know, do I believe in it? Do I not? We've kind of gone through it. It's kind of more just leaving it with like, you know, if you want to learn anything, I think, from this story, and if Art Bell has any lessons to give, I think it would just be the ability to listen without judgment. That's a good one. We could all do that a little more.
Or judge without listening.
Or do that. Fernando's known for that. That's all he does. He's like the biggest judger I know.
Only you.
Just me, I guess.
You. Yeah. I expect more of you.
Oh, okay. Well.
And yet you always let me down.
Well, you know. I guess before we sign off, the cool thing is the next time we do a podcast, me and Fernando are going to...
Oh, don't spoil it. Oh, God damn it.
It's okay. I'll cut it out. I'll bleep it out so people don't know. You have no idea what I just said, everyone. I just bleeped it out. I'm sorry. That secret... I'm just kidding. I'm going to tell you. We're going to go and...
Into Mel's hole.
Into Mel's hole, yeah. See?
Which is me.
Sorry, I don't know why. It just won't let me tell you guys what we're doing next time around. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Oh, it must be that.
Yes.
It's the same people.
You can guess in the comments.
You can guess in the comments, yeah. You should do it. And speaking of commenting, don't forget all that stuff underneath the video. You're going to see like and subscribe and comment. You can click those things and they help us. It's crazy, I know. But if you want to help us, you can click those. Tell your friends. Be like, hey, I got these two guys. And they couldn't shut the fuck up about talking about Mel's hole. Like, and you don't have to tell them what Mel's hole was. Allow us to do that. Just point them in our direction and we will explain what Mel's hole was. So yeah, I think that's about it. If you followed this channel for a while, then you'll know we have another channel where we do gaming and stuff. Fernando is going to be streaming over there soon, and I've got like 6 videos coming out soon. So I don't know if I want to call that big things, but stuff's happening, you know?
The channels, like, we've been on hiatus for a little bit. You know, life gets funny sometimes. You get busy, you get sick, and stuff gets in the way, but it's still our passion. We still like making videos. We still like playing horror games and stuff. It's just 2025 has been a hard year. 2026 has been tough, but we're the sea is calming down.
Yeah. Things are going to get better. They're going to get better.
Yeah. Things get better.
And you know what? I was going to ask you, do you have any final thoughts? But you know what? That suffices. I'm happy with that. Unless you want another final thought.
I love you. Be kind to yourself. You don't know what anyone else is going through. So be kind
good.
and cool to everyone.
All right. What he said. All right, guys. That's all I got. And I'm ready to go eat some dinner.
Yeah, I'm ready to go stretch my back.
God, you're fucking old.
I'm fucking old, bro.
All right, guys. I'll see. We'll talk to you soon, and I will talk to you soon.
Stop looking. I'm changing.
All right. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Because the world of Coast to Coast AM, truth is often stranger than fiction.